Hey everyone, it's me, Alex Axe, and it's Saturday, December 9th, and guess who's at work? I mean, I am taking comfort in the fact that this means that my paycheck is going to be a lot nicer, and I can use that since I'm going to be in the UK and I don't have enough vacation to cover all that time, etc., etc. So money is good, but at the same time, like, I was really looking forward to having a Saturday and like putting up shelves because I've become a person of a certain age where putting up shelves sounds like a great way to spend a Saturday. And then maybe I'd go see the really stupid looking Jumanji movie because it looks like kind of the right kind of stupid, and I really like Dwayne Johnson. So much for that. Got in this morning and I found out from the guy in charge of the dirt crew that somebody broke into their Connex. Like, so a Connex is like, you know, those giant shipping containers that you'll see like on the back of a semi or whatever. They'll just bring those onto a site and like put them down in there, and you get in and out of them, and that's where you leave all your equipment at night because that way you can lock it up so hopefully people don't steal it. So last night somebody actually broke into the Connex belonging to this crew. And I mean, we're talking like some sophisticated shit because they had 2 different bolts on it, which got cut. And even more like, you know, holy crap, it's like normal practice that the like a crew they'll take their loader, you know, the big thing with the bucket on it. Not, you know, an excavator is the guy with the arm. Like the loader looks more, I don't know how to describe it. It's the thing that people who don't know what loaders are often think are bulldozers, but bulldozers are completely different and have tracks instead of wheels. Anyway, they'll take their loader and they'll park it against the Connex to like make it even harder for people to even get to the door. So whatever crew or assholes or whatever stole all these guys' stuff had a copy of a key so they could turn on the loader and back it up and then cut both the bolts and get into the Connex. So that was a thing that happened today. And, you know, obviously their company has insurance and all that. I mean, it's not even my company, but I still just feel bad for these guys. And so that, you know, it just means that they're going to get delayed in doing the work that they were supposed to be doing because they needed some of that equipment for some shit they were going to do. So that's great, but, you know, I'm still here because there's some other stuff that they can work on, like curb and gutter, that they don't need their jumping jacks for. But it's just like, wow, someone put in some effort to do a really shitty thing to some decent people who don't deserve it. Which is, you know, well, I guess go the extra mile, you criminal asshole. Other than that, I mean, I had a pretty relaxing night last night, which was great. I finished up my Christmas shopping mostly, so that's done, which I decided to just try to get that done on a Friday evening instead of braving some retail place on a weekend, and I think that was a good idea on my part. And then I went home and, you know, hung out with my roommates, and we didn't play stuff. We watched, me and my housemate Ivona, we watched 3 episodes of season 4 Great British Bake Off on Netflix, which I know I've ranted about how much I love that show, and I still just love that show because it's just so beautiful and pure and everyone is so nice. And I spent like the final episode we watched, which was Herbal Week, basically laughing like I was approximately 12 years old the whole time, because let me tell you, if they'd had Herbal Week in Colorado, that would have been a very, very different week. Which is hilarious because I love making weed jokes, and I've actually like never touched weed in my entire life. But the whole joke with me and my friends when legalization of marijuana was up on the ballot, all of us were like, none of us have literally ever smoked weed and have no interest in doing so. We're just gonna vote to legalize it so that our parents can legally smoke. Because, you know, we gotta respect our elders. And then after we watched some Great British Bake Off, I tried the first episode of Punisher, which I haven't even watched season 2 of Daredevil, just because, like, season 1 was okay, and then I heard enough, like, highly mediocre stuff about season 2 that I was like, I have very limited time to watch shit, so I'm gonna just not, because it didn't sound like it was that great. So I was initially concerned because I was wondering if I missed out important stuff about Punisher, but I mean, the first episode, I seem to know what's going on just fine, and I mean, I'm going to be interested to see how it goes, because Punisher has never been, like, my favorite hero, and I'm kind of interested to see how, like, artistically they're going to be drawing the line with the violence, because it is a very, like, just even the first episode is super violent, and it's something where it's like, it just, you're waiting for it to happen all episode, because you're like, this is the Punisher, and I know that this is going to be coming, and then when it happens, it's like you're still not ready, because it's absolutely fucking brutal. And, you know, maybe that's something that's going to be different reactions depending on the audience, but it feels like, at least in the first episode, they're not using the violence as kind of like a hyper stylish rule of cool thing. It's just, it's like, I don't know if realistic is kind of the way to go, but I mean, like, if you hit somebody once with a hammer, that's pretty much what's gonna fucking happen to them. Like, but it feels like that sort of abrupt, nasty, you know, like, really kind of horrifying thing to witness that violence really is. So I'm gonna be curious to see, because I'm gonna keep watching it, and because it was interesting enough that I'm willing to give it some more of my time. I'm interested to see if they kind of keep with it being that, like, nasty, and to a certain extent, to the point that, like, I felt uncomfortable watching it, which I actually wish that more things were like that, because there is a lot of glorification of violence in media, and, you know, obviously I don't have a lot of room to talk, since I'm someone who wrote a book that has a lot of, like, you know, things blowing up and people getting shot in it. But it's nice to see, if nice is the right word, that there's an alternate treatment of it, where it is sort of like, you know, this is a very ugly thing. And I mean, and I feel it's enough of a tonal difference even from Daredevil. At least, like I said, the first season, I didn't watch the second season, because even Daredevil, like, when there was the hallway fight and all that, a lot of it was just kind of like, you know, look how freaking badass Matt Murdock is. Whereas I felt like in Punisher, it was just like, just almost like this mechanical, horrifying use of violence that it feels very different from anything else I've seen come out of Marvel so far. I think the only thing that occurs to me to kind of compare it to is some of the stuff even like in Logan. Because Logan, there was some shit where I was just like, but really what, of everything that I've seen that has that kind of like really dark, nasty, non-cinematic use of violence in it, it's actually the movie Prisoners, which I still have really complicated feelings about that movie, and like, not a lot of people saw it, or at least not a lot of people that I knew, so I don't have a lot of people to talk to about it. I'll link what I wrote about it on my blog in the notes. But it was like, that movie had this thing where it was almost an example or an examination of like vigilantism, and, you know, someone deciding like, oh, you must be the guilty party and I'm going to make you talk. And like this real like sort of basically use of torture that really was just like uncomfortable and horrifying to watch. And it wasn't like, you know, oh, this guy is a badass and he's going to torture somebody and that's going to help him save the kid or whatever. It was really, really rough. So I don't know if I'm really making sense here, but it's kind of a different, it feels like a very different use than you get in most media, which I find interesting. And I guess I'd just rather talk about that than like, I don't know. There's like the regular political garbage fire going on all the time, and I feel like it's just kind of leveled up with all this shit that Trump is doing and with fucking around with Jerusalem. Like, I mean, you know, complicated issues, blah, blah, blah. Things I'm not going to get into, but he is going to get people killed. He's going to get Palestinians killed. He's going to get Israelis killed. And it's really, really, And apparently he didn't really realize what he was doing, so that's great. And I try not to talk about politics too much when I'm doing vlogs, and it's because I get so angry that I feel I'm liable to say things that in retrospect I might regret because they're ill-considered, or, it's going to espouse my emotion first rather than my more thoughtful but still extremely angry response. So that's why I don't bring that up too much in my vlogs. Plus, I want to just talk about happy things and stuff that's going on in my life that I'm not really necessarily going to talk at length about anywhere else. But it's just, it's so deeply upsetting. So I think instead I'm just going to, we're at 11 minutes anyway. Thanks for watching this rambling bullshit on a Saturday morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're not working on this Saturday, unlike me. So have a great weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday, and maybe by then I will have watched more Punisher, and we'll see if I still want to keep watching it, because damn, I can see how it could go from kind of to this is so uncomfortable I can no longer handle watching it. So we shall see. I'll talk to you later.